Yeah, we really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's a pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rougher. Step up for the title and face your rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. Oh, you said it's smoking some beef? I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BBO Boxing, everybody's favorite YouTube commentator. And of course, we got the Puerto Rican prince himself, the Oscar De La Hoya header, man. My man D Free. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
How you feeling, man?
I'm good.
You know, we it's been so much going on lately, man. We got to talk about this, man. What you think about the whole Abdul Wahid versus Devin fight? It look like we might be getting that fight. You hear all the good news?
I hear them talking about Ryan and Devin. I haven't heard anything about Tank and Devin.
I guess apparently I don't know. This is just a rumor and speculation, but I guess apparently they got a deal on the table. So if Devin can get past Ryan Garcia, which there's a big doubt about that, they're looking at making the the Abdullah Wahid fight. I think that'd be huge, man. Shout to my man 88 Sports, my man DP Rock, and my man Picasso. But I think that's crazy, man. I mean, I can't believe Abdul Wahid, man, is really gonna try to start this year all right, man. I got to give you credit. You did say you got to wait till you say something.
Yeah. You always gotta wait. You can't go with rumors. You always gotta wait. I always wait to find out for these fights to be announced or find out from the fighters if this fight is actually done. I don't go with what I hear in the rumor mills. So I mean, until these fights are announced or until these fighters come out and say, "Hey, this is my next fight," I don't say nothing about the fights. People ask me about them, and I give them my opinion. But I'm not saying that the fight is done until they come out and say it's done.
Hey, I definitely can respect that. I think the crazy thing about it is I think for the first time it's just too much pressure. They gotta make the fight. And I think when we getting stuff like this, that's a good sign, man, because I know that Amazon Prime wants big fights. So I think they're gonna do everything in their power to get some big fights out of our favorite guys. So I'm definitely excited about that, man. But
Yeah.
let me ask you this. What you think about Sugar Shakur, man, calling out Navarrete, who's at 130?
Um, well, I mean, there was talk that that's probably going to be the next fight made for Shakur, being though the talks is that Shakur only has one fight left with Top Rank. So
Mm-hmm.
there was talk of that fight being next. I don't know. I mean, I don't understand why he will call out now. If Bob want to make that fight, that's for Bob to do. I don't understand why Shakur will call out Never Roddy, and Never Roddy's at 130. Why wouldn't you call out somebody that's at 135? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think that tough fight with De Los Santos, man, really, kind of got under Shakur's skin, man, because he moving a whole different way, man. He talking knowledge. He don't care about what the fans want. He gonna box, make the fights as boring as possible. You think that's gonna hinder his star power, man? Making those kind of decisions?
I don't know if he's gonna make the fight boring as possible because outside of that fight, that's probably the only fight that I've seen from Shakur that was boring. Outside of that, Shakur is pretty a pretty exciting fighter. I like the fact that he can judge distance and he's a defensive fighter. I like to see him dissect opponents. But this last fight, it was boring, and it wasn't just because of Shakur. It was also De Los Santos. He didn't try to step on the gas. So, I mean, there's blame to go around, but I prefer him to do what he feel is going to win the fight. Now, I wouldn't say go out there and make it a boring fight. You want to try to gain more fans by being exciting, but I don't want you to put yourself in a predicament where you're gonna be set up to get caught with a big shot and get stopped or knocked out or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. Salute to my brother Mark Nash, man. I say this. I think the thing is, man, these young fighters are understanding from being on Twitter and Instagram that the people got an instant reaction to what you're doing. So if you don't get the people what they want, you're gonna have to pay for it through them slandering your name, going after you. Because to tell you the truth, I thought, that was probably one of the most boring fights like in history. But I will say the fact that he came out on top after what could have been a tough fight, because I look at Regis Prograde and I look at De La Santo, and I would say De La Santo definitely was a tougher guy than a Regis Prograde. You agree with that sentiment?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say uh, uh, tougher as far as heart wise. I would say he's tougher because of his boxing ability. He's a more dangerous fighter because not only does De Los Santos have power, but he has boxing ability. Regis Prograis, his boxing ability is subpar,
Mhm.
but he is a dangerous fighter in his own right. So, but I would say De Los Santos is a more dangerous fighter because of his boxing ability.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. What's up to my brother Prize, man? How you feeling, man?
Oh, what's good with you? Shout out you. Shout out. What's up, Free?
What's going on, man? Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year to y'all brothers, man. You already know.
Happy New Year, man. Hey, I want to send a big happy birthday to my man Prize, turning the big 5-0, man. Congrats, bro.
Yeah, don't let BBO get up here doing that because he always can't wait to get up here to say something crazy.
Hey, but the funny thing about all these fights, man, I really want to see some big fights, man. I did hear that my man Dimitri Bivol is going to do whatever it takes to make the fight with Beterbiev. But one thing that was funny for you, I was watching an interview with Beterbiev, and he echoed those same things that you said about him. They asked him about fighters, and the man act like he didn't know nobody in the world.
Yeah, yeah, he don't. Like I said, I did an interview with his trainer, Iceman. Shout out Iceman Scully. I did an interview with him, and that's what he said. He said uh, Arthur doesn't follow boxing when he's not training for a fight. He doesn't follow boxing. All
That's
he
crazy.
do is go and deal with his family and take and focus on his life. But once it's
Right.
time for him to train for a fight, that's when he studies his opponent. He don't know nobody outside of that.
That's so crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they literally was asking this man about Dimitri Bivol, and it was so sincere. He acted like he had never heard of the man. It wasn't like a usual like boxer lying. It looked like he really didn't know who they was talking about.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, that's what his trainer say. He said he doesn't know these fighters. He said
Yeah.
you can offer that man $20 million if he can tell you who this fighter is standing next to him, and it could be Canelo Alvarez, and they say he wouldn't know who he is.
He know Canelo though. He do know Canelo.
I'm,
Hey,
I'm just telling you what
but
his trainer says.
but you know what's so funny? Isn't it kind of funny as good as Dimitri Bivol is? We haven't seen him fight Canelo.
Who?
Say that again.
I mean, sorry. As good as
Say it
Beterbiev
again.
is, isn't it funny we haven't seen him fight a living legend like Canelo?
Yeah, it is funny. Why Canelo didn't fight that man? He was right there. He had two of the belts that you wanted at 175. You could have fought that man.
That's that fight. I don't know about that. But Turby is kind of big though. But
Hey,
Bivol more of a smaller light heavyweight. But I feel you though. I ain't disagreeing with you, bro.
no, he fought Kovalev, who's is about the same size as
A
is
faded Kovalev.
Butterbeef.
Yeah, you're right. I ain't
Whether
disagreeing
he
with
was
you. I ain't gonna
older or
disagree with
whatever,
you.
but he was about the same size as Butterbeef, so he fought him, and he ain't had no problem fighting him. He ain't
Nobody
had no
called for
problem.
that fight though. Nobody called
Yeah.
for Canelo and Better Beef. So
No, nobody called for it, but
yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna go up there and you wanna dare to be great, you go after the best man up there.
right. He went after somebody with that appeared to not have any punching power. I'm not saying Bivol can't crack, but I'm just saying it was less of a risk to fight Bivol than Artur Beterbiev. But but ultimately, Dmitry Bivol was a lot more skilled than I know. I can speak for myself than what I thought he was. I thought he was dog food, but I'm a fan. I'm rocking with Bivol.
It's funny because Canelo would stop him. It's just kind of
Who?
funny that
Who? Bivol?
that fight
Stop who?
Canelo, stop who?
better be.
Man,
No,
boy,
hell no.
no, I know this the new year, we doing new things and everything, but did you decided to smoke before you come on live now? Because you gotta be high if you think that Canelo would have stopped Butterbeef and nobody's have stopped him yet.
He can be outboxed though because Anthony Yarr was putting some shit on him
Yeah,
until
but
until he didn't with it.
Canelo is not a boxer.
Yeah, but
Didn't
he
Canelo,
has
hold on,
problem.
hold
He
on.
has
Didn't
problems
Canelo
with
stop
boxers.
Sergey Kovalev?
Huh?
Didn't Canelo stop
Yeah, he
Sergey
definitely did.
Kovalev?
He definitely did. But
Yeah, yeah,
real quick, free, how my audio? I'm good.
yeah, you good. You good.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, he did stop Kovalev, but that ain't got nothing to do with Butterbeef because Butterbeef stops both of them in the same night.
Mm.
No, I'm a definitely an admirer of Better Beef, but I'll say this: if he got in there with Canelo, a living legend, the stakes will be different. The lights would be on,
Oh, that
and we
man ain't
see.
worried about no goddamn lights.
That's the thing. We thought the same thing about Jamel Charlo, who looked like an animal before he got in there. And then he got the lights on him, and he turned into a kitty cat. So,
No,
That wasn't
no,
the first time he had lights on him though.
no.
but I don't think he
Did
had
you
lights
did you
that
see?
flash.
Didn't you see the lights on when he got in there with Bivol? Did it phase Bivol?
Hey, Free,
Bivol
let me
don't
know
sound like he doesn't seem like he's you know he
No,
don't seem
I
like he
I
get
I
he it don't seem like he be worried about nothing,
no,
bro.
I
Bivol go in
told
there and stick to his game plan and do what he do.
no,
He don't have no punching power, but he definitely I like to watch him fight though.
I told BBO those Russians don't care about your celebrity status. All they do is drink beer and fight. That's all they do.
It's crazy.
They don't care about your celebrity status.
He
That's a
has some
good point.
allegations with Dmitry Bivol too, I found out some stuff about him in his past.
Yeah.
People like to sweep that under the rug.
You know the funny thing about it, man. One thing I learned about boxing in general, a lot of these guys are terrible human beings, man. But you just got to enjoy what they are in the ring because you
Yeah,
look at what I
yeah.
mean, the Jack Dempsey's, the Floyd Joy Mayweather Juniors. I mean, the list goes on. A lot of these guys are just are mud outside the ring. George
Yeah.
Foreman. I mean, so we ain't got to. Even the great Muhammad Ali. Now, Muhammad Ali's the first man I ever heard of that told his wife he'll be back, moved to a whole other state, and sent her divorce papers at the fight when she came to see him. Now that's cold.
Savage.
That's cold. Hey, that's cold. Free. Have you ever heard anything that cold?
Nah. I mean, but when you able to do that, you can do whatever you want to do. I mean, some people have that mentality. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna start another life over here. You know what? I'm gonna go start another life over there. And then next thing you know, the man got like 4 or 5 different wives, and you never knew nothing about it.
I really don't care about none of that stuff. I really don't care about the outside stuff. I mean, it's news, and we up here on these platforms, so we have to talk about it. But deep down inside, I really don't care what they do outside of the ring. I can care less what Tank does. I can care less what woman they done.
Hey, man, why you keep calling this man Tank? Why you keep calling this man Tank, man? I don't know why y'all keep doing that.
What you mean?
The man's name is Abdul.
Man, I'm calling him Tank.
Wow.
That's what he
You
gonna
call
go
Muhammad
by.
Ali Cash Tank?
No. If Ali had a nickname, they probably would have called him a nickname.
Salute to my brother DS.
I know plenty of Muslim brothers that have Muslim names, but they, they don't go by
Wahid. That's what he's gonna go by. Right. Abdullah Tank Wahid. I mean, there's nothing wrong with calling him Tank. That's his nickname.
Oh, okay,
yeah, but
okay.
I said, I know a lot of Muslim brothers who have Muslim names when they around amongst themselves, but they on a paycheck, it's not gonna say that. Now, whether it says that on his paycheck or not, we don't know. We have to wait and see when they introduce him.
I mean, unless he actually goes to the courthouse and get his whole government name changed.
That's what I'm saying.
His name is still Javante Tank Davis. Well, Javante Davis. Unless he goes get his whole government changed. But he has to go to the court systems and do all that. Which is not a lot of money to do it, but it's just a matter of if he's gonna go do it.
Right. Yeah. My man, his Muslim name is Shafiq, right?
You said your man.
But I mean, my man's in there, my partner, my bro.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man, you know me long enough to know we don't even gotta talk about that. But he go by his Muslim name is Shafiq, but he's Rick on his paycheck. I don't care what they say. His name's Rick on the paycheck, or better yet, Richard. So
hey, I mean, if you really want to be technical, I mean, they still want to call him Javante Tank Davis because GTD is still his promotional company. What the hell does GTD stands for?
Right. And he just did that GTD development too. You know, I don't know how new that company is, but it's a company.
Yeah.
But I still expect him to go by Javante.
I mean, and like I said, a lot of people, unless they following Tank Davis close, they not even knowing what his new name is. They know him by Tank Davis. Right. Most people don't call him Javante anyway. They call him Tank Davis. So they know him by Tank Davis. So they're going to call him that until they say, hey, no, his name is Abdullah Wahid. And you're like, what? Man, that nigga Tank.
Unless he do like the brother did back in the NBA, Chris Jackson changed his name to
I went to school with this. I went to elementary school with this nigga. We was in the same kindergarten class. That nigga named Tank.
Yeah, I still think he'll go by Tank. People might not say his new name if he comes out and be introduced as his new name. I still think people just say, Tank versus this guy, Tank versus that guy. We'll call him Tank. I don't think we'll physically call him by his name.
Like with Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, he went and had his whole government changed. He literally went and had his name changed. His name wasn't Cassius Clay on his ID no more. It was Muhammad Ali. So that's the difference. Like I said, unless Tank Davis go do it, I mean, his name is always going to be Javante Davis unless he go actually change it. But I mean, I could care less if he changed his name, but that's that man prerogative. He could change his name. Nobody ever made a big deal about Jamie Foxx changing his name. Niggas didn't even know he changed his name. That nigga name ain't always been Jamie Foxx. Right. That nigga changed his name to Jamie Foxx.
Hey,
Right.
he said Tank went backwards. But the funny thing is how the brother I guess how he reconverted to Islam was he was out buying fur coats and he ended up stopping in the temple and ended up taking a shahada right there. So that's a pretty cool story in itself. Like you go out, coat shopping, and next thing you know, you got a whole new religion. So either way it goes, man, as long as you ain't got Tank running people over or doing the crazy stuff that he was doing before, I'm okay with it, man. Because the brother
Yeah,
needed some help.
that's what I said. I mean, if it makes them a better man, I ain't got no problem with it. I don't care
Yeah.
what nobody do if it makes them a better man. If it
I
makes
really,
them a better
again,
man,
I really don't care what they do. I just want to see them fight.
yeah,
But you know
that's
what's
what I'm
funny?
saying.
A fight that y'all haven't called for, and I'm sick of both y'all brothers, man. Especially Free. I haven't heard y'all say Tio versus Devin yet at 140. Haven't heard you
Why
say it
would I?
once.
Why would I say To versus Devin? I told you I don't sit here and make up these fights or none of that. If somebody asked me what would I like to see them in, I would give my opinion, but I'm not going to say, "Hey, Devin needs to fight Tio. Tio needs to fight Devin." We
Right.
don't know if Devin going to stay at 140. I mean, at 140. So I don't. I'm not in these guys' camp. Now I can tell you what I would like to see, but I mean, I'm not saying they not right now. They they're not in a situation to fight each other. Tio has a fight lined up. Devin is working on a fight. So they're not in a situation where they have an opportunity to fight each other. If they're both free, neither one of them got to fight, and they sitting back like, damn, I need an opponent. Then yeah, you can say, hey, how about Devin and Tio? They both free. They ain't got no opponent in front of them. How about they fight each other? But right now, Devin got two opponents in front of him. He got the
Yeah.
Sandor Martin opponent, and he got this fight that he's working on with Ryan Garcia. I mean, if he makes the fight with Ryan Garcia, he got to pay Sandor Martin step aside money. So he still will have Sandor Martin sitting right there. So it's not like Devin is freed up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you a fool, DS. He said Tank backwards. Hey, hey, the funny thing about boxing, man. We can talk a lot of different things, but I'm telling you this, man. I just want to see more fights because I feel like boxing is turning into the WWE, man, or
Yeah.
WWF. I heard it when I was a
It's
kid.
been like that.
It's like garbage. Like you hear guys talking crazy, and then they don't make the fights, or then you hear
Yeah.
guys like let me ask you guys this: Did you guys see those pictures of Devin as he's been blown up to like 170 in between fights? What's going on with Devin?
He chilling. He young. He living his life. He rich, and he just doing what he's gonna do. So he picked up a little bit of weight. Some of them pictures I think might be a little extra, but he seems like he doesn't have a problem making weight. He looks good when he makes weight, and he come out and perform. So he's just chilling. You know what I mean? You gotta respect these fighters today. They don't. A lot of them don't stay uh in shape year round. You got hand selected few like Terrence and probably Jerron Ennis is a man, my notifications is going crazy. I hope they are not picking that up. Uh
Yeah,
I forgot what I was saying because I keep getting all these texts and emails. It's like going crazy right now.
I'll just say this, man, because while you get yourself together over there,
Oh yeah,
I'll
about the
just say,
WWF. Yeah. And like I said, real quick, it's only a couple of guys that seem like they stay in shape year round. So, those are the guys that we gotta, those are the guys I'm rocking with. Them guys that stay in shape year round and do what they got to do, man. Because like you be on top of your game when you just disciplined all year round. Devin seems like he's disciplined, but right now you got to remember that he's still a young boy. So he's rich. He on
he's
vacation.
25.
Man, that's a young boy to me. Like
Well, 50,
he
you right. I get it.
he come on, I ain't 50, but he a young boy still. He got all this money. He got his chains and his watch and his bracelet and his little designer clothes. He in Dubai, Saudi Arabia. Man, he doing what he's supposed to do, bro. I'm gonna snap if I don't stop
What you
getting
think,
text
Free, man?
messages, bro.
It looked like he ate the old Devin Haney. What you think, Free?
I didn't hear the question. I was
No,
giving
I
you the
was
card.
saying, what do you think about Devin Haney lately? These photos we seeing, they saying he's as much as 170, 175. What do you think about him blowing up this big?
I don't know if that's true. I mean, that's what people are saying. I mean, unless they sitting right there and they watched him get on the scale and said he 175. People is guessing what his size is. I don't care nothing about that. If the man blow up, long as he makes the weight when it's time for him to make the weight, I don't care about a man blowing up outside of him having a fight. The fight is over. He don't have to maintain that weight if he choose not to. I mean, it's more healthy to, but as long as he can make the weight healthy and it doesn't affect him in the ring, I mean, it doesn't matter if a man blows up after he finished fighting because they usually only fight like twice a year anyway. So I mean, he got more than enough time to come back down to the weight if he does blow up that big. But I don't know if he does. But if he does blow up that big, he got more than enough time to come back down to the weight and make 140. So I mean, I don't really care about that.
I watched the pretty much it was like a rip off of 24/7, and they had it was the American Dream, Devin Haney, and he was in the room with his father, and they had to wrap him up in towels, and I think they turned the heat on in the room to like 90 or as high as it can get, and to see Devin still struggle to make 140, it's like I'm just wondering, and I'm just wondering, like this man must have some grade A discipline to still be making that low weight after all this time. And it seemed like he's having a struggle making it because they had him wrapped up in towels. And if you remember before the weigh-in, I think he had to like disrobe or something. Like, I really
He a
think
young
it's gonna
boy
be
though.
tough. Yeah, but when you talk
They
about
can do that. Them
the
young
great,
boys can do that though. They can go up and
you know,
down weight and it don't affect them like that. It's just when you get older, that's when you like when you in like your 30s, you know, check it. But when you're 25, bro, you can lose weight, go up, down. It don't even matter, bro. You can do whatever. And he looks like he has a good training camp. Look, you know, he's very involved. He is a gym rat. So I feel like he's just a young boy. He can get away with that for now.
Yeah, I would say the same thing because I had a high metabolism as well when I was 25. Like I was literally out when I was playing football. I
Yeah,
would
y'all
walk
boys
around
still
and
there?
yeah, we still am.
Okay. I didn't know my
Yeah,
audio switched back over.
yeah. When I was playing football, I would walk around at 185. I would literally go to practice, and when I get off of get finished practicing or whatever, I come home. I'm at like 170, almost
Mm-hmm.
165. I would lose weight quick. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when you're 25, you can gain weight and lose weight quick. It's when you get up in that age, like Earl Spence and Canelo, it's harder to lose that extra 5 pounds that you're trying to
Yeah.
get off. It's hard
You
to
gotta
lose
be
that.
on point.
I'll say this, my man Picasso said, I like both fighters, but sometimes I entertain the bull jig. I'll say this, man. Um, I think the funny thing about it is like I didn't expect Devin to blow. Devin has been making 135 for 8 years. So for him to be at that weight class that long, it says a lot about his discipline. And I'll be honest with you, he looked terrific against Regis Prograis. So we're gonna see what he can do. I mean, the only thing is I just kind of hate that Devin is so terrified of, Teofimo Lopez, and I
Only
know
you say that. You
from
know that, right? Nobody's running around YouTube saying that but you. You know that, right?
no, I'm not the only one saying that, but I'll just say this: when you seen the fear in Devin's eyes when Teal was in his face saying you don't want to do it, it's just kind of crazy to think like this man still,
I can't believe
is
you get
out
up
here.
here and still do that in 2024. Did you get
Let
up
me finish.
here?
Let me finish. Bro. Let me finish. Let me finish. I just say it like this: it's very sad that the guy calls himself king or he's the man at 140, and you got a lineal champion right now at 140 who's the king of 140, and you won't even say his name. You won't mention this guy. You talking about fight Ryan Garcia, who's never won anything. So just let you know, like Devin isn't about the biggest fights. He's about like clout, chasing, I guess chasing whatever Abdul does, he wants to do. But I thought Devin Haney was the guy that was fighting for legacy. So to see him not take the Teofimo Lopez fight, it broke my heart, man. I tell you what, it really broke my heart to see.
You keep saying him not take the Teofimo fight. That fight was never offered to him. He was trying to offer it to Teo when they was at 135. That man Teo never offered Devin Haney to fight. Devin Haney came up and fought Regis Prograis. That's the fight that he took at 140 because Teo at the time was retired. So that fight was
Did you
never
hear?
offered to Devin. So you can't say that Devin didn't take the fight. The fight wasn't offered to him. But you saying Teo is the king of 140? What makes you think Teo's the king of 140?
He's got the
I
lineal
mean,
belt.
he could be. That's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with people saying Teofimo's the number one 140 pounder. I really don't have a problem with that. But what it looks like, the reason why Devin looks like he's number one at 140 is because he's doing what he's doing. He became undisputed, then he moved up, and then he dominated pretty much, I guess, the number two guy in the division. You could say he's the
Yeah.
number two guy in the division.
Probably
So if
number
you want
three.
to
I
put,
would say number three,
that's
but
fine. That's fine.
yeah.
But if you want to put Teofimo Lopez as the number one 140 pounder, I have no beef with that because he beat the man who beat the man. Now, whether we like him or not, it is what it is. But
I
to
mean,
your question, he never was like the homie Free said, he never was offered a fight. He done ran down on Tio a couple times, and Tio was like, ask Bob, call Bob, and all these things. So Tio don't want. I mean, Tio he would fight Devin, but I don't know what Tio's mindset is right now. He doesn't seem like, he got a tough fight coming up too, by the way.
And you know what's funny? And I just gotta respond to my brother Free, because one thing about this brother Free, he's a definitely this brother knows his boxing. But when you see a young Floyd Mayweather like a Teofimo Lopez, it's like you gotta appreciate it, because you got who really, Devin kind of reminds me of like a Terrell Gotti, all those guys
Hell
who was,
no.
and it's like it's just
Hell
so
no.
sad. It's so sad because like what more can T.O. do at this point, man? We gotta just be real. What more they want this kid to do, man? He's in there fighting the toughest guys. Jermaine Ortiz arguably almost beating Lomachenko. And just to see that, he wanted to fight Matias. Matias magically had a hand injury, so we didn't get the fight. At some point, man, we got to really put some respect on Tio, because I mean he keeps seeming to want to give us the best fights. At the end of the day, he don't have the best manager, and I believe he doesn't have the best team, and I think that affects him. The things outside of the ring seem to affect him more than they should. I honestly can tell you this: if Teofimo Lopez had a Bill Haney on his side, he'd be the biggest nigga in the world, because he got the fights and the resume to prove it.
Well, he burnt bridges with Top Rank. He tried to
Yeah.
run off and take the $6 million with Triller. That money fell through.
Well, wouldn't you?
Bob was gonna get Bob.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, he can go off and do that, but he did it. It's just the way he did it. He did it like F this. I'm my own boss. I'm doing this and that. Really, he signed a Top Rank. So Bob was gonna get like 700,000 or 800,000 of that person anyway. He didn't have to even do nothing. Now I can see if he stepped to Bob and be like, yo, Bob, I really want to do this at $6 million. Here's your cut. You get your cut, woo, woo, woo. But T.O., sold himself to Triller. Triller don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about boxing, clearly. And they were
Right.
just writing checks. I'm surprised they still even in business. So they came in there just slinging money around. And
Yeah.
and then once they started seeing them ticket sales for T.O. and Cambosa that wasn't adding up to the $6 million that they was going to give him, I mean, they just shut the whole thing down, bro, because they knew that they was making a mistake, and T.O. wasn't what he thought he was. So I like to see Teofimo. The game need 140 and 147, or just boxing period in general needs Teofimo Lopez, whether you like him or not. Um, the game needs him. He's a player in the game. You could argue and say he's the number one at 140. It's your argument. It's your opinion. So I can't wait for this fight right here.
So let me ask you this.
Tio
Let me ask you this,
and
beloved. Let me ask
Jermaine
you this.
Ortiz gonna
Let
be
me ask
tough.
you this. Let me ask you this, beloved. So you say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to believe Tio is the new Hawk, man.
The
Where he
new
just
who?
cannot, the new Hawk, like he just can't get a fight. And I remember they used to do this
He
crap to
got
the
to
Hawk.
fight.
What are
And
you
it's
talking
like,
about?
you remember that
He got
streak?
to fight. He fought
You remember how he was
Lomachenko. And he
no, what I'm
fought
saying is
Richard Comey. He got some
the
names on
tough
his list.
what I'm saying is the tough guys won't give him a fight. You remember that free how they used to do the Hawk like that, man? Where they wouldn't give him I think it was Sugar Ray Leonard wouldn't give him a fight. Like some of these guys are so special, man, that they won't give
That's
a fight
Bob
to.
though,
And
BBO. Bob controls who Tio fights. And if Tio
but I'm
acting
just
up,
saying it's
Bob's
unfair.
gonna put you.
Why does the Hawk had to fight, had to go all the way up to 147 and was fighting at 140 when he really should have been at 135, 130 because he couldn't get a fight. And I was telling you, man, I think what they doing to Tio is very similar how they did the Hawk, man.
So
And it's
Who's doing
sad.
it?
Tio was
But
doing
that's
it to
Bob. That's
himself.
Bob doing that. That's Bob.
Go ahead.
That's
That's
Top
not.
Rank doing that.
It's
Go
not
ahead,
even
Free.
Bob. It's not even Bob. It's Tio doing it to himself. He don't know how to keep his mouth shut. He want to run his mouth and act like he's the boss when he's not the boss. The man is not the boss. You signed
Yeah.
the Top Rank. That's what
Yeah.
you chose to do. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to follow Top Rank rules. I
And
don't
that
see
pisses
Shakur
Bob off
Stevenson.
too.
I don't see Shakur Stevenson having a problem getting a good fight. He don't have a problem getting a good fight. He don't have a problem getting a nice person either. It's only Tio that has a problem because Tio don't know how to keep his mouth shut.
I mean, that takes a lot of discipline free. And I think I don't know, man. I just think it's so crazy, man. And I didn't think about it till I was sitting at the house and I thought like this is the same stuff they did to the Hawk, but then the thing that finished the Hawk off was drugs. So we never got to see what he could really be because the drugs got to him. And I don't know, man. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
I
mean
think
Tio.
these good
Well,
fighters get
I'm
solidified.
agreeing with the homie Free. Tio run his mouth too much, and he pisses Bob off. When you piss Bob off, your career start changing. Now he's not in the fight that a lot of people want to see, but us hardcore fans, we don't mind the Teofimo Lopez Jermaine Ortiz fight. I know I don't mind it. I think that's a tough fight. I think
You
that's a
said you think it's Tio's karma? My
yeah. I
man,
mean, yeah. Who said
Chat
that?
B
Yeah,
said,
I agree.
salute D Free in
Yeah,
chat. Well,
yeah.
I don't know, man.
And Mike
I
Picasso,
think,
that's a good point though. That yeah, run like Free said.
but
He
they
run
did
his
the
mouth too
same
much.
stuff to Aaron Pryor, man. Like, I don't understand why
Why you
y'all,
keep going back to 1900? We in 2024. You keep talking about
bro.
what they did to Aaron Pryor.
I seen
That's
this
back
movie
in the
before.
day. It was a different time and different day.
Friend. Is they gonna try to turn Tio on to Aaron Pryor now? Well, he
Man,
don't
I
get the
don't
big
care what
fights.
he getting the big fights. He done fought Lomachenko already, didn't he? That was a big fight. Richard Comey was a big fight at the time. Uh, I mean, Kambosos wasn't a big fight, but we wanted to see Tio. He fought Josh Taylor. I mean, damn.
Listen, free,
How you say he ain't getting no big fights?
free.
He fighting the
I gotta say
fights.
this free because I know my man Free care about history. Free. Didn't we see this same bull jive with Aaron Pryor that they did the same stuff to him? They doing it to Tio, bro.
Tio got a
Like,
resume. Pull up his
They
resume, bro. Pull his
no,
resume up.
hold up. Aaron Pryor had big fights. It's not like Aaron Pryor didn't have no big fights. Tio had big fights. It's not like Tio had no big fights. No, do you
Right.
realize Tio didn't have to be in that fight with Josh Taylor? They could have found somebody else to be in that fight with Josh Taylor. They chose Tio to be in the fight with Josh Taylor. They didn't have to put Tio in there.
And I feel like Bob tried to set him up by
Tio,
throwing him in
but
there
that
with
was a
Josh.
big fight. Like, you know what's
Okay,
funny?
you said
I
he didn't have any big fights. He had tons of big fights.
know what I'm saying is I've seen this before, man. My man DS knows what I'm talking about. They did this to Aaron Pryor, man. They do this to all the
You
greats,
can't,
man.
no,
They
bro.
always find a way to screw you out of your opportunity, man. Because and this is the thing, you
what
won't say it because
what opportunity did Aaron Pryor get screwed out of?
he was supposed to get the Sugar Ray Leonard fight. Never got that.
Yeah, he
It's a
turned
bunch of
down the
different.
fight. He turned the fight down.
He, but he wanted to drag him up too high. He couldn't go that high.
Well,
They
then he
don't.
didn't want the fight.
They don't
He
want to
didn't want the
fight.
fight.
Then what you talking about? Then you don't want to move
Free.
up
He
to the
couldn't
weight where
fight
the
him at
man
no
is at.
154.
Oh,
So
come
if
on,
that's
man.
where the man is at, that you want to fight, that's where you go.
That's where he got to go, baby. You know, who just say Sugar Ray could even make 47 at the time? You know, I ain't saying
That's
he
the,
could.
that's the, that's
I
the,
ain't saying he
that's the
couldn't.
same thing. That's the same thing we said about Devin Haney. If you want to fight Tank Davis, and Tank Davis said, "I'm at 35. I'm not going to 40." If you want that fight, then you got to go to 35.
Or stop talking
If you
about the fight.
right,
Just stop
that's
talking
So
simple as
about
let
it.
me
that.
get this
Matter
straight.
of
Let me
That's
get
the
fact,
this.
fight you
I
want.
want to
You
do
got to
this.
go there.
I want
Now
to.
this
I want to do this on
like
BBO boxing. I want to do this on BBO boxing. I don't even want. I don't even want to hear nothing else about Tank and Devin Haney. I don't want to hear nothing else about it because it ain't happening. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too many weeds to go through. It's too much mud to walk through in that, man. We got Leonard over there with his suits, you know, and who knows what he's thinking. You know, Tank want to fight him, but like, is he gonna come up to 140 and do all that? Because we know Devin can't. Devin will die if he go down to 35. Between the weight,
on the
between the
life,
weight
man. You
drain,
rough.
man, between the weight drain, the 135 to suck down to 135 and then fight Tank, you're just asking to get fucked up. Period.
I'm just shocked, man. And it's the thing, Free. And I'm gonna tell you why this breaks my heart, man. You know boxing. You seen how they do these guys. They wanted to bring Aaron Pryor,
I,
who really was a
and
130
I
pounder,
I
all the way up
also
to
see
154.
I also see the
Go ahead.
opportunity that was there for Tio, and he chose not to take it. There was an opportunity for him to fight Devin Haney. He chose not to take it. He said it
Hey,
out of his
hey,
own mouth.
hey, free. That fight would have been for undisputed, or I'm mistaken?
It would
Montio's
have been
already
for
in the dispute.
undisputed. It would have
Yeah,
been for undisputed.
right, right. I thought I didn't think I was tripping because, you know, Teofimo Lopez earlier in his career he was just going on and on about nothing, and you know he's in the situation he's in, which is not a bad situation because you got people running around here saying he's number one at 140. You don't got no argument for me. He got the belt. He beat a great Josh Taylor. Some people would call him overrated at work today. I said y'all don't watch boxing, but whatever.
You got to be out your mind.
Yeah, I
Josh,
mean,
you know
you
what's funny
can't talk
about
with these
Josh
guys. You
Taylor?
can't talk with some of these people, man. BBO
If
for real, you
Josh, I'll put it like this: if Josh Taylor was black and had
can't.
waves in the beard,
DS
everybody
is
would say
crazy.
he was that dude
D
because
DS said he know Richard Pryor more than Aaron Pryor.
you,
That's what
you
I'm saying,
cold blooded.
dog. We don't want to talk about this old stuff. So we're going to lose some of y'all new fans because, you know, we talking to some of these cats is only 20, 25, 22. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
They young boys, man.
you know what my grandfather said. That's very true, man. If you don't know your past, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah,
And
I agree with that 100%.
and to see this in boxing in general, it's just sad because these guys don't know a lot of these narratives that we've seen are old narratives. Like, let's be honest here. T.O. was doing a lot of what Floyd did when he was at 135.
No,
One,
no, he's
No,
not.
he didn't. No,
No,
he
it's
did
not.
he
nothing.
just
Not
fighting the
even
tough
No,
close to
guys.
Floyd.
there's nothing
Let
that
me
Floyd
finish.
did.
Let me finish real quick, Free. He actually is probably more accomplished title wise than the great Floyd Joy Mayweather. I'll say this. It's just sad because you see these same things repeat themselves. So they more happy about Regis Prograde and not happy about beating Josh Taylor, the dude that beat Regis Prograde from pillow to post. I think he
No, he
beat all
didn't.
the big gays out of him. So
Hey,
I
hey,
just say this.
BBO.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish your
I
point.
just say this. It's getting sickening to see how these fighters don't respect real fighters. Just like Deontay Wilder, he got his head beat off, right?
No, he
And
didn't.
everybody quick to throw this kid in the trash. They forget that this dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, Deontay Wilder kind of bought back boxing to a lot of fans.
He didn't kind of. He
No,
bought the
no,
heavyweight division
he
back.
really,
Period.
he really bought back boxing to a lot of people. And one thing that Freak said one time, we had a private conversation on this. I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but he actually dragged Tyson Fury back into the ring. Like you wouldn't even see Tyson Fury right now making all this money, doing all this. It's even a press conference, old press conference when Deontay Wilder said, "Who brought you back to big time
Yeah, that's
boxing?"
a fact.
I did. Don't
He
you ever
did.
forget who brought you back to big time boxing. So
And
don't get
Tyson
me
Fury
wrong.
sat
I
over there
don't like
looking
all that.
stupid.
I don't like all that. I'm a king and all that crazy stuff Deontay Wilder say.
That's not
But
crazy, bro.
the brother brought back big time boxing, and Deontay Wilder changed the game. And he lose to a tough guy in Josh Park. I'm messing his name up. And
Joseph
Parker,
Parker.
Joseph Parker, and all of a sudden they want to throw him in the trash. Free. I think that's wrong. Free. I think that's
Yeah.
wrong. You can't
I
throw these
agree. I
guys in
agree
the
with the. I
trash.
agree with
You can't
DS
throw these
said.
guys in the trash because they lost. You people throwing T.O. in the trash because he lost to an undisputed champion. It happens.
He said.
Say what you want.
DS.
Guess what? Every belt there is to have at 135, George Cambozo has it. He has the
Oh,
IBO, the
No, he don't.
WBC, the
He ain't have none.
WBA. He won the
He
IBO against Maxie Hughes. So
he ain't had a
every belt
WBC.
he had a WBC,
No, he didn't.
IBF. Yes, he did have a WBC belt.
So you
He was
saying?
the
So you saying
franchise champion.
Cambosis? So that's not a, that belt was non. You
He
can't
took. This is
transfer
what
that
I'm
belt.
saying. This is what I'm saying. The brother touched every belt that you could touch.
Except
It's
for the
crazy.
WBC belt.
no, but hold up, but BBO, you keep saying that T.O. lost to the undisputed champion. Whether you want to call Cambosa undisputed or not, that's your prerogative. I'm not even going to go on that. But you keep saying T.O. lost to the undisputed champion. T.O. did not lose to an undisputed champion. T.O. lost to a mandatory who had no belts, who was the split decision king, and he won the fight with T.O. as a split decision. That's what the man did. The man was not a champion. He became, quote unquote, the undisputed champion after he beat T.O. He wasn't that before then.
Nobody even knew who he was but us
It's,
until
it's
before
odd
this.
to say this. Boxing, man, we doing these guys a dis. We doing a lot of these guys a disservice, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep cooking.
Yeah, I can
I,
hear you.
no, I just think we doing a
Keep
lot of
cooking.
guys a disservice. And I don't want to ask you a question, Free. I want to ask you a question. How
Are you
come?
taking selfies?
How come guys like Sugar Ray Leonard
Hold
could
on.
be great, Floyd Mayweather could be great, but these young guys don't get an opportunity to be great just like they were? Why is that, Free?
Who was
Um,
what young guys? You making
um,
up stuff now.
no,
No, I'm telling
Sugar Ray
you,
Leonard,
Tio don't get
Sugar
no
Ray Leonard.
respect. Bam Bam
No,
Rodriguez don't get no respect.
no, you gotta
Um,
understand.
Frank
Sugar
Martin
Ray
don't get no
Leonard,
respect.
Sugar Ray
What
Leonard,
has
and
You could
all
Frank?
take.
What
those
has
guys.
Frank Martin done? What has he done?
No, no, Sugar Ray Leonard and all of those guys became great when their career was over. They wasn't great when they was fighting. They was very good. They wasn't
Okay.
great when they was fighting. They became great when their career was over. You're not great until your career is over, and they can look back and say, "Hey, this man did this, and that. That man he's one of the all-time greats." That's how you become a great. You're not a great while you're fighting. You're an all-time great when your career is over. Muhammad Ali was not considered the greatest fighter of all time when he was fighting. It was after his career was over they considered Muhammad Ali the greatest fighter of all time. Floyd Mayweather is the only one that was calling himself the best ever, but he wasn't
Uh-huh.
considered the all-time. He wasn't considered one of the all-time greats when he was fighting. When he was at the end of his career and they knew he was about to hang it up, they said, "You know what? Floyd Mayweather is one of the best fighters of all time." So it's not at the beginning of their career, it's at the end of their career or when they retire, they be considered a great. So we can't say that Devin Haney is great. We can say on the path that he's moving on, he very well could be one of the greats. We can't say Tank Davis is not going to be great. On the path that he's moved on in the past, we could say, hey, Tank Davis had a lot of talent, but he ain't fight nobody.
Right. To be honest, right now, the only one out of these new fighters that look like they are, you can say they great right now, is Terrence Crawford. I mean, there's nobody else that's even close to you saying, yo, that guy's gonna in 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, oh, this guy's gonna be great. This guy's great. Who? Who are these people? You can't name them, bro.
Hey,
So
I gotta
you,
say this.
you
This is the
can't name
first
them,
time.
BBL.
This is the first time I gotta say this, man. Now that's what I'm talking about, Free. That was a really good point. The same thing with you, Prize. I had never really thought about it because if you do look at it, they did not say Cassius was great until he beat Sonny Liston. They didn't say that. I mean, I remember there's videos where Joe Lewis was running around with Sonny Liston saying, "This kid Cassius Clay." They used to call him the mouth of the South back then. He's nobody. And thinking about it now, Free, until Muhammad Ali was doing the Harlem Shake, holding that Olympic torch, that's the first time he really got any real adoration. Because a lot of time, even my grandmother, God rest her soul, had a lot of disdain for Muhammad for what he did, what he stood for, not going to the Vietnam War, whatever the case may be. And I think you made a great point, man. I gotta say, for the first time, ain't nothing I can say, bro. You absolutely right, man. Like it really do take after they leave. I just be. It's just like this, Free. I try to appreciate it, prize and free. I try to appreciate these niggas while we got them, because ain't no use in crying when they gone. Like as much as I love to watch LeBron James play, I'm gonna miss him when he's gone. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's tough, man.
I
You just
appreciate LeBron.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
appreciated Floyd. I appreciated a bunch of great fighters. Mike Tyson when I was younger. I can go on and on and on about different athletes. Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Sanders, Deion Sanders. But I'm not these new cats. It's not you can't which one of them is great. It's hard to even dissect that, bro, because
It's really
it's
only
not a lot
Terrence.
of them. That's what I say.
Yeah.
It's
And what
just
you think, Free? Can
Crawford.
we say Terrence is great? Because I think nobody beats him at 154.
who?
I say, can we say Terrence is great?
Terrence?
Yeah.
I would say he I don't know if he's going to be considered as a great, but he's going to be considered as one of the best boxers of this era. I don't know if we're going to consider him as great because when you look at his resume, he doesn't have a lot of notable names. You have
Right.
a couple. It's not a lot of notable names. Like when we go back and look at Sugar Ray Leonard and all the guys he fight, he got a lot of notable names. You go back and
Yeah,
look at Marvin Hagler, he got a lot of notable names.
yeah.
Hmm.
Muhammad Ali, they got notable names. So that's why they was considered great because, like I said, at the end of their career, when you go back and look at their career, you can say, yeah, that man was great. He fought all the top guys. But you can't really say that about Terrence Crawford. And I'm not knocking him. The man is an excellent boxer. The man is the first two-time undisputed of the Full Bear era. But I don't know if he's going to be considered as an all-time great because his resume doesn't show that. It doesn't show that he's an all-time great. Now his resume will show that he's undefeated unless he lose, but it
Hmm.
won't show that he's an all-time great because there's not a lot of notable names on there.
Yeah, there's
I
not a
was
lot of notable names on there, but he did beat the people that
in
you
front of
know
him.
that yeah, that the guys that was in front of him. He did do two-time undisputed. Now, if you want to take Terrence Crawford and his body of work, forget his body of work. Let's just look at Terrence Crawford, the fighter, and his skill set. I think you can put him in any era and he's going to shine. That's just me. You know,
I
um,
say Sugar. I say Sugar Ray Leonard. I beat the hell out of him.
no, I don't say that.
I say. I say.
I don't say that. I don't say that at
I
all.
say.
I don't think Sugar Ray can beat Floyd. That's just my opinion,
Uh.
though.
I know. I know why you say that because Floyd is a creation, and he's like Pernell and Sugar Ray. You can see Sugar Ray all over Floyd's game. Floyd is like a freak creation, like a Frankenstein. But the thing that you need to beat Floyd is aggression, and you need to have great ring IQ. And from the Castillo fight, from the Miguel Cotto fight, I
I
can
beat
see
him.
Sugar Ray Leonard making Floyd shut up and fight like you told Chop Corley. I can
And I
really
can
see
see
him telling him to
Floyd.
shut up and fight. And I
And
can
I
see
can
him.
I
see
can
Floyd smoking
Go
him.
ahead.
I can see Sugar Ray Leonard beating Floyd because the one thing that Sugar Ray had over everybody else that fought Floyd, Sugar Ray Leonard he know how to beat the Philly style. He beat Floyd Senior, and that's where Floyd learned the Philly style from
Yeah,
was Floyd
yeah.
Senior, and he
Floyd
beat
way
Floyd Senior.
greater than Floyd Senior.
I'm not
Way greater.
I'm not saying he's way better because that's you looking at the level of competition. I mean, if you look at the level of competition, a lot of people believe the level of competition was a lot stiffer when Floyd Senior fought than when it was with Floyd
For
Junior.
sure. For sure.
Some people believe that Floyd Junior's level of competition was better. We don't know. I mean, those guys never fought each other, so we don't know. But like I said, Sugar Ray Leonard knew how to get around the Philly shell. So, and the one thing that Sugar Ray Leonard had that most of the opponents that Floyd fought didn't have was the ring IQ, the boxing
Uh-huh.
ability, the hand speed, and the power. He didn't just have one or two; he had all of those.
He
So
had everything.
yeah, so it would be a great fight. That's a fantasy
Mhm.
fight.
Mhm.
But I'm not saying that Floyd will win. I'm not saying Sugar Ray Leonard will win. But I say Sugar Ray Leonard could win because he know how to get around it.
He definitely Sugar Ray definitely could win, but I just think that like what you said, like, and I don't want to keep delving into these old fights, but or fantasy fights, but since we're here, like what you said, he could crack the Philly shell. Well, Floyd Senior can't he can't shoulder roll like Floyd Jr. That's just what it is. Floyd Jr. took something and mastered it to the point to where nobody probably could ever, duplicate that again,
I
bro. I
thought
just
James Tony did better. I could be
Tony,
wrong with this,
Tony,
but James
Tony was
Tony,
nice. Tony was nice.
his shoulder roll,
Yeah,
his
it
May.
was, but
I'm not gonna
Tony
even
got
call it
hit.
the shoulder roll. I'm
But
gonna
look,
call it
but
the
Tony,
Mayweather defense. The
but
Mayweather
look,
defense was even better. Or I don't think you know what? I think Andre Ward and James Tony were better at the actual Philly shell
Tony got
than
hit a
Floyd.
lot, bro. Tony got hit a
Huh?
lot because Tony got hit a lot, but Floyd not only was his shoulder roll or the Mayweather defense, whatever you want to call it. Not only was that on 10, but his footwork, he wasn't there to get abused a lot of the times.
No, that's a
So
good
that's why
point.
so that's
That's a
why
good.
that's why I say that Floyd could beat Sugar Ray because Sugar Ray is a savage. Now
I just say this
Floyd
though.
gonna try to get Floyd gonna try to frustrate Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray's the type of dude that's gonna just go for it. You know what I mean? He's not like Floyd, where Floyd can stay on the outside and punish somebody for 12 rounds. Sugar Ray will get bored and try to go knock your head off. Floyd, Money Mayweather wouldn't do that. Now, Pretty Boy Floyd would go after you, but Money Mayweather wouldn't do that. So I'd like to see Pretty Boy Floyd versus Sugar Ray Leonard, not Money Mayweather.
I'll say this, man. Is Canelo considered all time great? No,
Unfortunately,
no.
yes. I would say yes.
I'm gonna say why Canelo is not considered all time great, and you won't find a bigger admirer of Canelo Alvarez than me or D Free, or
I
even Prize.
And me, I
Um,
hate Canelo. I hate Canelo, by the way,
I
but
don't I
but
don't I don't I don't know if Canelo's considered an all-time great.
I
you
wouldn't say
gotta
he
put
is
it. You
because
have to. You have to
What
put him in there, bro.
no, what Canelo
I
has done
They let
is
Rocky in there,
Canelo.
BBO.
But listen. I'm not saying he's not. We talking about being an ATG. We're not talking about being a Hall of Fame. We talking about a whole different wing of the Hall of Fame, like where only the greats dwell. And what I'm saying is because Canelo did so much avoiding guys, and this is me talking as a peer historian. This is not me talking as anything other. This is BVO talking from the peer history of boxing. He avoided way too many tough challenges that would have already put him on a trajectory to be great, like not
yeah.
fight Demetrius. So much so that Demetrius called him a B word. Not fighting Jamel and Jamal at 154. You know, making Triple G wait all this time. Triple G lost like a year and a half, 2 years of his career waiting on Canelo. Um, it's just so much. It's just so many little things that Canelo did that people don't understand that he's going to be remembered for doing a lot of ducking and dodging. He's the greatest of this era by far. But when it come down to being an ATG, to be up there with the Salvador Sanchez's, to be up there with the Julio Cesar Chavez seniors, or Juan Melco Marquez, You really got to just be an absolute can man. Oscar De La man, you couldn't say Oscar's name without getting your head beat. Remember how he beat my organ like that? Free,
He
like
whooped
you know, you
I
couldn't even.
wouldn't say Canelo's an all-time great, but
Yeah,
he will be considered an all-time great Mexican fighter. I wouldn't say he's an all-time great
I disagree.
fighter overall. He
I
wouldn't be
disagree.
considered an all-time. He wouldn't be considered an all-time great because of a lot of the stuff that BBO said. He avoided a lot of people. Like the
Yes,
all-time
agreed.
greats, the all-time greats, you very seldom hear their names and avoiding people. You very
Right,
seldom hear
facts.
that name of them avoiding people. We got
yeah.
multiple fighters that we can pull out that Canelo avoided. That's not considered an all-time great.
And not to say he wouldn't beat those guys, but the thing was, you couldn't say
Yeah.
Roy Jones Jr.'s name. You couldn't say. You couldn't say. You realize that the only reason Floyd fought Oscar is because Floyd had the nuts to call him out when he was at like 135. You remember that, Free? And Oscar said, "What?
Yeah.
We'll fight. We'll fight." And the thing
Oscar
about
brought
it
him all
is,
the way to junior middleweight too. That was savage. By Oscar's a savage.
hey, the funny thing about it is you couldn't, and that's the thing that sucks about boxing now. You couldn't
Yo,
say a great fighter's name back in the day without getting your head whipped. They
let me
didn't
answer
play
your
that saying
question.
they name stuff on TV. That
Let me
never
answer
happened.
your question when you get done.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, keep going. Keep going. Finish your point. I'll answer
No,
that
I'm done.
question.
I'm done.
I disagree with both of y'all brothers for real. I say Canelo, and y'all know how I don't like Canelo. I don't like him. I used to like him, but when he started moving funny, I ain't like him. So to your point, BBO, yeah, he avoided a lot of fights. But when you break down the resume and you break down the time when he did it, his resume is aging well. I mean, there's some controversy wins like against Laura, Cotto. I can't think of the Austin Trout fight where a lot of people thought that was close. It's a lot of fights I can't think that was close. The Triple G, but Canelo got them names. I mean, he's built a huge fan base. He sells out, so it's gonna be hard not to put him as an all-time great. Now, us YouTubers, some of us might say, nah, he not. But old media definitely gonna have him in there. He's definitely gonna be in the Hall of Fame. He's definitely gonna be considered one of the greatest of all time.
Hall
We
of
don't
Fame
like
is
it.
different
Nah,
though.
he won't be considered one of the greatest of all time.
He
Because like I
won't.
said,
I think he
even
will
though
He
be.
won't.
even if you like I said, even with the names that he have on there, you
Yeah,
you go back and look at the times that he fought those guys. Yeah, you can have all the names in the world, but it also goes into the time that you fought those guys because those Shane Mosleys and
yeah.
Miguel Cotto's and Austin Trout, those wasn't no young fighters. Those was fighters that was at the end of their career. Those
But
wasn't the
Austin
young.
Trout, though, I don't know, Free. Austin Trout
Well,
had
Austin
just beat
Trout was
Miguel
kind of
Cotto.
he
He
just
just
beat
had beat Cotto.
Cotto, right? Yeah, right, correct. He
Yeah, he
just took
wasn't
Cotto.
no.
No,
He
but
wasn't what.
yeah, he might have been a tough fighter, but that doesn't take away that he was at the end of his career. You can be a tough fighter and still be at the end of your career. Look, I mean, you could look at Arthur Butterbeev. I mean Arthur Butterbeef. You
Mhm.
he's a tough fighter, but there's no mistaking about it. He's at the end of his career. The man is 38 years old. You
Hmm.
look at Luis Ortiz. He's a tough fighter. There's no mistake about it. When Deontay Wilder fought him, he was at the end of his career. That man was damn near 40 years old.
Nobody wanted to
So,
fight him though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can still be a tough fiiter, but that doesn't
Okay,
mean
that's
that you're
this.
not at the end of your career.
Well, let
I
me
mean,
ask
I
you
think what
this.
Canelo did was, I think what he did was, I know it was funny. I think what he did was great. I'm not gonna lie, but me personally, let me do this. I wouldn't put him as a ATG. Me, prize fighter. I would not. But he will be there. He will be talked about in the next 15 to 20 years, whether it's good or bad. Because a lot of people gonna say, "Nah, he ain't fight this and he ain't fight that." Like VVO said, he gonna a lot of that's gonna be an argument. But there's gonna be a lot of people that say, "Nah, well, he did this and did that." So I think 10, 15 years from now, we will be still talking about Canelo. Well, if he would have fought Canelo, or if Canelo would, his name will come up, bro. That's just how I see it. I think that he has done a lot of great things, but to me, I got to roll with the homie BVO. Like, he avoided a lot of fights, bro. He could have. You think about if Canelo would have fought everybody he was supposed to.
I think that's what's going to be talked about for Canelo more than
Oh yeah,
all of the
what could
guys
have
that
been?
he beat. I think they're going to be talking about the guys that he should have fought.
And guess
But
what? And guess what,
okay,
Free?
so wait a minute. Let me ask you, Free and BVO, who didn't he fight?
He didn't
Who am I
fight Boo
missing?
Boo. He didn't
Okay.
fight Boo Boo when Boo Boo was the 160-pound
Mm-hmm.
No,
WBO champion. When
54. 54,
no,
Free.
I'm not even talking about 54. I give him a pass at 54. But when
For
the
Okay.
man
undisputed.
was at 160 and he said he wanted to be undisputed and Boo Boo had the WBO belt, that man was like, man, that man ain't good enough. He a trash
You
fighter. He
want
ain't good enough. But
payday?
you said you
I
wanted to
know
be
that.
undisputed.
Right.
You said you wanted to be undisputed. He didn't fight Jamel and Jamal when they was at 54. He didn't even fight Jamal when he was at 60.
Right.
Now he fought Mel. He brought Mel up 2 weight classes and fought him. And I mean, it is what it is. He beat Mel. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not faulting Canelo for Jamel coming in looking the way he looked. That's Jamel's fault. But he could have fought him at 54, and we could have seen we possibly could have seen a different outcome. He's avoiding David Benavidez right now. He's avoided Arthur Butterbeef. He could have fought that man. He chose to fight Kovalev, who was also at the end of his career, and he came back and fought Bivol, who we thought was green. He only had like 17 fights or 18 fights. He was like, that man, he ain't got that many fights. He's gonna be starstruck, and it backfired on him. So the man avoided at least 4 opponents, at least 4.
Okay, so that's not a lot of, and that's some ducking, but that's not like some of the things that Prince not seen, or something like, because BBO like to go back. That's not like some of the stuff that he did, but I feel you though. I'm not even disagreeing with you, dog. Like, it's hard for me to even argue for Canelo. That's why I'm like kind of stuttering and stumbling over what I'm trying to say. It's hard.
Yeah.
But when you just say, oh, well, he didn't fight Boo Boo, he didn't fight Benavidez. Who else? He could have fought the
Well, you gotta
Charlos that.
remember.
Hold on, BBO.
Go
He
ahead.
could have fought them. He could have fought them boys like Free said at the time, but he didn't. So if you're gonna tell me that because this is gonna keep Canelo from not being an all-time great because he didn't fight Andre, Beterbiev, the Charlos at the time. Jamal Charlo, I'll say Jamal Charlo at the time, because he's a different fighter than Jamal Charlo. Let's make that clear. You name me 4 guys that nobody's gonna remember.
I'm not saying that they're not going to remember Jamal and Jamel and
Remember the twins,
and
but the
David
other guys.
Benavidez.
I mean,
I'll tell you this, man.
I'm not saying that they're not going to remember them. We don't know if they're going to remember them or not.
To be an all-time great, man, that's the thing. You gotta leave things to no doubt. One of the things that was so beautiful about Floyd's career, Jose Castillo beat him easy, and what did he
what?
do? He came back.
What fight
He
was you
came,
watching?
but check this out. He came back, beat him to a pulp.
Nah, I'm
They
not gonna let
said
you slide with that though.
they
You said that
said
he beat Floyd up. Like, you made it seem like he won like 8-4,
no.
9-3.
You don't. Well, if
I
you
don't
watch,
think
if
Castillo
you had
won
the
the
TV
first fight.
on, he put hands on Floyd. I mean, I know
Floyd
what you're
got hit
saying.
a little bit more than what he, I thought his hand was injured. Was
To
his
this
hand
day,
injured in that fight?
Ivan, to his whole career, other than the one dude,
Morel. I mean, Madonna.
Other than Madonna, nobody put hands on Floyd that way. I mean,
Man,
I'll take
Cotto
that
put
back.
hands on him.
It's been three people.
Chop
Let
Corley
me
put
say this.
hands on him.
Cotto put hands on
Emmanuel
Floyd.
Augustus put hands on
Miguel
him.
Cotto put hands on Floyd. Jose
Corley,
Castillo put hands on Floyd.
Jose Castillo, Emmanuel Augustus,
And McDonough. It's only been 3 people that put hands on
Mosley
him that way.
almost
No,
knocked
it
him
was
out.
more than 3. It was
Sugar
more than
Shane
3.
almost knocked him out. Did you see when Chop Corley, when Floyd bobbled against the ropes? He recovered very well.
So he got hurt against Chop Shop. He got hurt against Zab Judah. He almost got dropped. He almost got dropped twice against Shane Mosley.
No, he almost got stopped by Mosley because anybody else, Mosley hit that right hand with the way he did twice with Floyd, you going to sleep from Shane.
He rocked Floyd twice in that fight.
No. He wobbled him bad. That's the worst we ever seen Mayweather bobble in that second round, right? Okay. Now, if Mosley hit anybody else at welterweight like that, they go down and out. I don't care who you are. I don't care if Mosley get that kind of right hand on you, you gone. But that shows you how great Mayweather is in his recovery time. It's like it reminded me of Fight Night when you get hit with a flash hit and you start beeping, boom, 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 and you recover real quick. That's what that shit was like to me. And then he punished him from 3 to 12. That reminded me of Great White Hype. You trying to embarrass me on TV from 3 to 12. It was not a competition. So it was one round in that fight to where it was like, oh, to drama. After that, Floyd put hands and feet and everything else on that boy, man. And I'm a Mosley fan. I was rocking with Mosley when he was 35-0, 32 knockouts. You know what I mean? When I was a young boy, I was rocking with Shane. I knew deep down inside that he couldn't touch Floyd.
I'm gonna give my man Free and Prize the last words because me and Free gonna come back tomorrow. So I don't want to stay on too late. I don't want to get at people too much. But we definitely gonna be back tomorrow. We got a couple guys to talk about tomorrow, but I'm gonna let my man Free and Prize get us out of here. Go ahead, Free and Prize. Go ahead.
Nah, man, I appreciate everybody coming through, man. Y'all smash the like button on y'all way out. And Happy New Year to everybody if I didn't say it to you before. And we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
shout out BBO. Shout out to the BBO Nation, everybody in the chat. Y'all subscribe. You already know what time it is. Shout out to the homie Free. And you know, we in here, 2024. We in here.
Salute to my man. Hey, salute to my man DS. And you know you know how we do it, man. We ready to have a big year. My man Free said we can get up there with the boxing voice, anybody. So we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get better. I'm actually working on getting my little studio better, so I'm gonna be on camera more. So I'm gonna do that next week. But I'm telling you guys, man, you don't want to miss it. We almost at 2,400 subscribers. Like I said, you know, we're going to do a little giveaway once we get I got to move it up an extra 100 now. Once we get to 2,600 subscribers, we're going to give away, we're going to bless 4 people with a $50 cash app. So we're going to give more information as we get to that 2,600 mark. And let's get my brother Free to 1,000. But it don't matter. It's not stopping us. It's the Roll with the Punches podcast, episode
and
2.
real quick, BBO. Raquel is coming on this show. Now, she got some personal things going on right now. She's back in the gym. She got some personal things. Her schedule's really, really tight, but she gave me her word. Raquel, she's coming. We're going to get it right. We're going to pre-record it, and we're going to drop it. That's happening for sure.
That's great news. That's great news. Hey, and let's not let my brother Free turn Teofimo Lopez into the next Empire. Let's not do that, y'all. Let's not let Free do that, y'all. My brother Free will do that. And we gone. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.
We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in